That being said, let's get into Stargirl. Marcus, episode 3 is here, and the one thing I will say about the precocious Courtney Whitmore is she needs to be humbled.
Now, desperately.
Yes.
Like, she don't, like, Jesus Christ. Like, she gives stubborn a new look and name. Or headstrong, whatever.
No, both are very accurate. So, for the third straight week, she takes an L. Only this time, her L gets someone killed. I wouldn't go as far to say it's her fault why the Wizards of Waverly Place wannabe gets hit by a truck. But I will say if it wasn't for her trying to be such an instigator, probably wouldn't have happened. Just throwing down out there.
100%, man. And I mean, obviously, we're going to get off into it. And I think the problem is highlighted about exactly what my biggest takeaway from this episode was, which we'll get off into. But the setup for how she, yet again, charged headstrong off in the battle was kind of like clumsily done because it was like, it was random as hell. Like how it was like, oh, this must be such and such. We need to go and do such and such. It's like, that was an awkward setup. With the star.
Yes, no, sorry, I was drinking some water. So,
Gotcha.
Icicle makes his big debut. I mean, technically we've seen him in the last 2 episodes, but now we really see him. This was an Icicle-centric episode. And Icicle only knows one thing. That the person who attacked the son of Mesmer...
Mesmer, Brainwave.
Brainwave, there it is. The person who attacked the son of Brainwave was a girl. Not a white girl. Not a blonde white girl. Not even a cis girl. Just a girl. And somehow Icicle deduced, well, you have a blonde daughter, Miss Amy Smart's character, Barbara. That's her name. Miss Barbara. Clearly, that's you're the mom of Stargirl. Clearly. I'm just like, that's a fucking leap. Like, literally. Of all the girls in Blue Valley, he pinpointed the right one on a guess. Now, if it was one of those situations where they set it up where he was targeting every girl around her age and like none of them were responding to it, but Courtney did, and that's how he figured out, like, haha, all right, fair. But, I don't know, seems kind of easy. And it wasn't even one of those things where he's like, well, she's the only new girl in town, so clearly she has to be the one. Which would have made sense. Like, yeah, only one... Fucking, it's the Batman effect. As soon as Bruce Wayne came back to Gotham in Batman Begins, Batman came with him. Like, it's not fucking hard to figure that one out. Fucking Arrow did an entire story arc about that. Smallville.
When Pete figured out about Clark.
Yeah. Fucking...
Not Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy. Yeah, because Jimmy photographed him. But in Arrow, because that one, I don't remember the Smallville arc as well as I should. I need to rewatch that series for the 14th time. Oh no, whatever shall I do? Yay. But in Arrow, Lance specifically made that argument. Oh, what, you came back and the hood came in? What, I'm supposed to think that's some kind of coincidence? And we're all like, holy shit, this is smart writing. We know it wouldn't last because we saw seasons 6, 7, and 8, but hey, at least season 1 was pretty great, right? So maybe that was how Icicle deduced it. But even then, we got nothing to highlight that's how he figured it out.
Yeah, it's the fact of the matter is the convenience of what happened to Brainwave is it got the only person that actually knew her identity out of the way for now.
Yeah.
Problem is, like, even the phone calls that we saw him may or may not have had with Icicle, at most he told him it was a new Starman, but I doubt he told him like it's a girl and this girl is such and such. So basically what he did was cast a broad net, which was no way of working, by the way, because basically what happened was he put a big ass ice star in the middle of a random field that she just conveniently walked through, which was a very awkward scene. Yeah. And I'm guessing he was just like, okay, I'm gonna put it here. She's gonna clearly she has to walk through here. I'm gonna put it here. When she sees it, she's gonna come back to this scene. I'm just gonna wait. Like that had no, like he looked so damn good from so many different standpoints in every other part of the episode, but the execution of actually getting her to him. Like it didn't, like it's no way to defend it. It was just random as hell. Like it's literally a plot device.
It's not good. I don't know if Jeff Johns was, in the restroom when this scene was written, or if he was at the bagel cart. I don't know. By the by, I would like one of those cinnamon everything bagels with light cream cheese. If anyone's going, just place my order now.
It's funny talking about Smallville. I just thought about like it's not even like even when they did the thing when the Kryptonians landed back on Earth and their symbols got left with them.
Mm-hmm.
So when Clark went looking for the symbol and it was the House of Elsom, he was like, "My father's on Earth." Like that made sense.
Yeah.
This absolutely made no sense. It's like who put the random ice star? Oh, she just conveniently took this route from school today. Come on, man. Y'all better than this. It's the third episode, and he's such a damn good villain with a presence. And
Perhaps, quite possibly, maybe, we get an explanation next episode where he goes, thanks to Brainwave, I knew who, Stargirl was before he got put into his coma. Or maybe he goes on to say that I did background research on Barbara and I figured out that they're the only ones who have moved into town since, such and such time. So it wasn't hard to deduce who this could have been. And he could even put in a little explainer. And, if it wasn't Stargirl, they wouldn't have stopped and she would have just kept walking through and I would have known it wasn't her. But you got to put the explainer in. Like, stop going Star Wars on us. Stop going Avengers on us. Stop going Disney on us and explaining major plot points after the fact or in the novelization. Fuck off. We deserve better than that.
Yeah, the only way he could have even known it was a girl from that school is because Brainwave was found in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Of the school.
But again,
that's about it.
That's not even specified. Like, how does he know that? Because, he doesn't ask any questions about where was Brainwave found. All he knows is that the senator was the one who took him out of the, put him in his regular clothes and dropped him off at the hospital. Like, there was no mention of, I found him at the school. Like, you're taking a lot of liberties with us assuming that these guys are in better communication with one another than they are. Like, come on. Also, love the fact that Courtney, totally destroyed the sign and she was the only one not to pay attention to it. Like, someone needs to explain to her, oh, wait, Pat's trying, that, you need to be better at your job. If everyone's congregating around something that you destroyed and no one knows that you destroyed it, you congregate with them so people don't think otherwise. If I see someone through, a ham and cheese sandwich at a window, and we're all looking at it, and I see Marcus not paying attention, I know Marcus threw it.
Oh, I'm going to leave this to you to speculate. Oh, but the janitor noticed.
Right? The janitor noticed. The creepy fucking janitor. Oh, my God. You ever see the movie with Tom Hanks called, I think it's Neighbors? Or Suburbia? Yeah. Something like that. And it has Corey Feldman in it and Tom Hanks, and they're investigating their new neighbors, the Klopeks, this East European Russian bloc group of people who moved in who are super fucking weird. The janitor looked like the youngest Klopek, the nephew. Oh, I got some creep vibes on that one. No, thank you.
With a forgotten sunbeard.
Right? And a really interesting Facebook and Twitter page. Trump was real powerful in his words last night. Ugh. Ginger janitor. So they engage in a fight with Icicle. He basically hands them both their asses, but Pat's able to launch off one of his striped fists, knocks Icicle onto a bridge across the way. Icicle freezes the road, and this bus that's coming back from a talent show collides with the ice and crashes through the barrier. Stripe's able to save the day. The young magician kid who is the son of one of the one of the Injustice Society members notices Stripe. Kind of pointless when you realize what ends up happening, but Courtney hits him with a solar flare. The only thing that thing was missing was Krillin going, solar flare!
Literally the only thing he did.
Right? And so Pat saves the day, flies back to Courtney, but Icicle, who's now in the woods for some random reason, basically uses his magical ice powers to now manipulate the wind, knocking a card from the young magician who's the son of the senator. The kid doesn't know how to look both ways before crossing the street and ends up getting hit by a truck and dies. The senator is a member of the Injustice Society, and Icicle is very unhappy with him for allowing Brainwave to be put into a coma. So, he pretty much set up in the beginning of the episode like, hey, I'm going to do something. And that's exactly what he did, and he ended up arranging the death of his son. So the senator, not happy at all about this, grabs his Harry Potter stick, goes over to Icicle's house, and ends up getting fucking flushed.
We tried to bippity boppity boop and got froze, yeah.
More like bippity boppity dead. Bippity boppity choking on that cold air. Icicle straight up murders this dude with a single touch. That one scene demonstrated how powerful Icicle is because he literally just killed a man by touching him. And that was incredible. Like, it shows you just how violent this dude is. And Icicle was never really presented to be that big of a threat, in Young Justice, and I think he was he in Justice League Unlimited at one point? I think he might have been.
He might have been. So I keep having to remind myself that was Junior that we got in Smallville.
Yes. Well, we also got Icicle Senior because he was in the Supermax.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, like you said, I mean, it showed. Like I said, the actors they got to play him great. The way he comes on scene, the way he is in scenes, and it's funny the way we're going through this episode is kind of taking me back to how you and Zach went through last season of Titans, and it progressively got worse to us as we went through explaining it. The way this got set up, because he basically almost kind of punked him on the porch.
Oh yeah.
Because they had a proper conversation. He punked him on the porch, and when this happened, I'm like, okay. He basically, was saying like, basically you turned into a big, big puss cake. You got all this power, and don't want to do even a smudge with it. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, is he gonna frame the death of this kid on Stargirl so he can get his dad in the fight? That would have made more sense. But he just wanted to be a-hole and kill the guy, and then kill his son, I guess, to get loose ends out of the way. But to me, it almost would have made more sense to go with the way he was talking to him on the porch if he had a set up a way to kill the kid and then blame it on Stargirl. It's like, well, you got to fight now. She killed your kid. Let's see what you got to do now, Magic Man.
That would have been interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe a little cliche, though. Because to me, anyway, it already felt like the Magic Man. He can make a sunrise, sprinkle it with dew. He already seemed like he was out of the fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think Icicle wasn't so much wanting to get him back involved, but just wanting to show the rest of the Injustice Society what happens when you lose the fight. But again, we don't know because we didn't get any kind of explanation for any of his actions. All we know is that his wife died of some illness that she contracted from some chemical, and his parents, who are hardcore East European, have no problem hiding all of the dead bodies Icicle makes. they are so copacetic with it. Maybe that's his wife's parents. I don't know. Again, we didn't get a lot of information on this episode, and there was a lot of opportunity. No, but please, let's go with slut-shaming criticisms. Not backstory. And by the by, I know that this is your joke, but I can't tell these white boys apart. Is the son of Icicle the outcast who also drew on the girl's locker with the flowers and shit? Are they the same person?
Yeah, because he's the kid that clearly saw that she lied about, or she white lied to the magician kid about him having the wrong card. Um, but that's clearly he's the same. He's that same kid that she was in the classroom with, but that's clearly not our man.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think because that's a different guy from the one that was at the table in the first episode.
That's what I was wondering. Because
Yeah.
I was like, wait. All right, which one of you white boys are you? It's like what?
Yes.
It's like watching what was that Randy Orton faction with Cody Rhodes?
No, you talking about legacy?
Yeah, it's like watching Legacy all over again. Like, oh look, 3 white boys with crew cuts. Is the RNC already in town? Oh jeez. So we also find out that Icicle has the hots for Barbara. Let's be honest, that's exactly what that was. He is totally into her, or at the very least is trying to manipulate her. And here's a fucked up thing. Icicle, when he's not murdering people, super charismatic. All the great psychopaths are. So
Yeah.
it's an episode. My only gripe is the instigation. Like, how did he figure out who Stargirl was and all that? But the rest of the episode I thought was really good. But the instigation still needs to be chastised for being way too fucking easy.
The instigation, the fact that he went from a bridge to a forest in a single cutscene, as you pointed out, which
He's
was very obvious.
Batman.
He's Batman. And also, like, come on, Pat, you had to know what was going to happen when you took this little impetuous girl to the secret sanctum of the Justice Society of America. She's literally stolen all their property now. Starman's outfit appropriated that. And then she took a bird, man. She took a whole damn bird. Like she just no respect. You can't just go out randomly handing out people's sacred treasures and keepsakes all willy nilly because you feel like you need help. It's not how that go, man.
Here's the thing. I like a lot of what this character is supposed to be.
Yeah.
But one of the things this character needs to learn is consequences. Instead of the fact that her actions indirectly caused the death of a fellow student and maybe wanting to train more, trying to figure out what's what, she's now doubling down. Granted, that's what teenagers do, but in reality, teenagers lose when they do that. And I drastically hope that that ends up happening where one of these kids, because think about it, she's recruiting a girl who slept with the high school popular boy. That's all we know about her. She's a slut. She's going to recruit the brainy girl. If I got to be that guy, I'll be that guy. The brainy black girl. She
Yeah.
seems like a sweetheart. She seems very cute, very fun. She seems like she has the fighting abilities of a blind mouse. I don't know why you would involve her. That's like giving a rabbit a machine gun and saying, "Hey, go fight the Nazis." You may want to defend. You may want to give that rabbit some kind of ability to defend itself, but you're still sending a little fluff bunny to go die at the hands of Nazis. You don't do that. And then fucking, we don't know anything about the guy who's gonna be our man. He's just fucking in the wind.
And then she just took the lantern just for F's sake.
I think that was
She
to
just took the
spite me. I think that was to spite specifically me.
Like you don't like okay, you cry when the kid died, which you won't spend so much time on because not like she really knew him like that, but at least she showed some empathy and they kind of let that kind of breathe for a minute. But it's like you basically trying to recruit people that's as equally, if not more incompetent than you are, and clearly from the preview for next week, clearly gonna rely heavily like you are on the equipment because they don't have the skill or the training. This don't make no sense. These are grown ass men that have been doing this for years that killed an entire other team of grown ass men.
If there's a moment in this season where one of them dies or gets severely hurt and they quit, and that shakes Stargirl's entire being, and she doesn't know if she can get back into it, but then Pat has to go into action to save his wife, and that triggers Stargirl. to go, I got to help and save the day, and shows up and she has new understanding and a new awareness. Okay, cool. But if this type of reckless, dangerous, uneducated, unregulated, malicious behavior is rewarded by her saving the day with no issues, I ain't coming back for season 2.
Oh man, I'm right there with you. Like I said, I really dug the first episode, and it's funny watching some other reviews, like people that we not the only ones thinking like this. Like she's cute and stuff, and this actress is displaying a lot of stuff, but this character is not as virtuous as she's presented to be with this. And again, a lot of the fan base for the CW would easily brush this aside because they, female lead, this, that, and third, and blah, blah, blah. And she looks so cool, but that's not enough. Like, this is blatant, like, unrequited arrogance that's going to get her and these kids damn near killed. And, of course, because plot demands that they're going to get out of this stuff when they really shouldn't. And I'm right there with you. It's going to be hard trying to come back for season 2 because you can't just brush this stuff up. Like, we saw Oliver grow. Like, one of the most satisfying things in that first season, like, up until that point, Oliver hadn't taken any serious L's. He had some close calls, but when the Dark Archer, like, kicked his ass, and he was basically calling Diggle like Batman would call Alfred, that's how you build a character.
Yeah.
Because when he came back and he fought him on that roof and he almost lost again, but he ultimately beat him, it mattered. It counted. Like, it showed that it showed improved. He had to ultimately fight smarter and not harder, ultimately like he did with Slade in season 2. But still, she's not doing that. And another reason why, and this is another thing that's pissing me off, this whole Starman is my dad excuse for every time she got to do something.
Yeah, it's not good.
Like you have no proof. You just going off it because you want it to be real. That's all. And once she gets that, I think that's the only thing that'll really sit her ass down and get out that costume if she found out that dude's not her dad. But again, that's something else that's left vague because it's not like the mom's giving an exorbitant amount of details. And Pat's just like, every time she brings up, like, oh God, this again. So it's like, I don't know, man. Like I said, this show got a lot of good things about it, a lot of good elements, but some of this execution is like,
And she's really staring into the Stargirl. Starman's my daddy. It's like, there's like, a scene where they're looking at stars and Pat's like, and that's stars the Milky Way. Star, did you say Starman? Starman's my dad. Pat just looks at her like, what? Hey, my son, whose name I forget. Hey, did you feed the starfish? Did someone say Starman? You mean my father? Oh my God! Hey, did anyone see the race last night? Did you say Star Race? No, I didn't. My dad's Starman. Did you know that? He's not. He had his dick blown off 17 years ago. Pretty sure it's not possible. This is kind of one of those shows where if it's going to rebound, it's going to rebound. But it's got to do it soon because we are too tired of this fucking Mary Sue, Gary Stu fucking narrative, man. Oliver Queen worked as Arrow right off the bat because it was established that he was returning for the first time in 5 years. And then we got to see him suck ass for a good 3.5 years. I'd say 3 years, in regards to the flashbacks. So we got to see what dumb Oliver looked like, and dumb Oliver was dumb. Dumb Oliver got his love of his life killed because apparently Shadow wasn't worth a hill of beans. Dumb Oliver made Slade Wilson into the monster he was. Dumb Oliver had a dumb hairpiece. I ain't gonna forget that fucking wig. You think I'm gonna forget that fucking wig? That wig was terrible. But like all of a sudden, Stargirl gets the staff and she's like, I can fight the most dangerous villain I've ever known. I just want to see her get impaled in the leg with an icicle just once. Like, let her take that hard L. Because at best, this was a no contest. At best, episode 3 was a no contest.
Yeah, I mean, and I think this is the thing. But even with the mishaps in the episode, I found myself rooting for Icicle.
Right? He seems like a decent dude.
And a lot of it,
apart from the whole child killing thing.
Yeah, but apart from that, yeah, but and a lot of it just came off to like I said, the presence. The actor does a great job. Not a bad looking guy, and just the competence. Like he, like even the line, like he didn't have a lot of lines when he showed up in his ice form, but he was like, I forgot the line. He was like it's nice to meet you. Now you die, or something like that. And it's like she was, if it wasn't for Pat, she would have died.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just it. And he tells her that, and she just busted it off like it's nothing. Well, yeah, I know I died, but Starman's my dad, and they killed my dad, and I have to do this for my dad because I'm Stargirl's dad. I'm Stardad's girl or whatever.
Sardad's girl. And I love that the catalyst for her, like, no, I got to do this for my daddy, was because the kid that she knew for all of 3.5 minutes of screen time, by the way, died. Whoa, no. You killed a character. You introduced and killed a character in the same episode? What? And granted, the kid was real fun. You know, he seemed like a good dude. His father and mother are supervillains, like, who knows? But can we just also go out and say that the deathbed promise motif was an idea that was almost perfect? If you had presented Icicle as like a good man, and she had said, you know, take care of our son, make the world a better place, and destroy anyone who gets in your way, could you, like, what a great idea for a supervillain. A man who only becomes a supervillain because his wife on her deathbed makes him promise to be one. Oh. But that's not entirely what we got, because what we got was him like, I will burn the world down. She's like, no, don't do that. She's like, make it better, but kill anyone who gets in your way. So he was already clearly a supervillain before she died. But like that idea of him becoming a supervillain because of her death and because of a promise she makes him make, and he upholds it. Oh my God, that would have been such a good hook for the character. But instead we get just another supervillain doing supervillain things. But it's fine, because Icicle is really, really interesting. And, you know, he definitely comes across as a super destructive villain. So, you know, it's only episode 3. We'll see if there's some explanations and some humbling down the road. Maybe Courtney will have her humble pie after all.